Hey everybody, and welcome to Robin's house. Today I'm working on the Enjoy the Ride scrapbooking workshop. And one of the techniques used in here was creating a background and texture paper using the stencils. So 2 stencils come in the Enjoy the Ride pack, a little leafy one and a little cloudy one. And so we used it in several locations. So obviously it's very easy to use it on a little paper. So I used, on the 3rd page, they give you a square and they want you to cover it with the stencil using yellow ink. And I felt like it would feel washed out. So I actually used limeade on limeade, which is kind of what we do throughout the whole project. So all you do is take your blending brush or a sponge and color on top of the stencil in the places that you require. So very easy, especially when it's just a little one. You can see I went off, and that becomes important in my next one. So this one, I think sometimes you actually cut it at a diagonal when you're done, but you can see there's some light ones and there's some dark ones. So it's all up to you on how much ink you want to put on your stencil. And the same kind of thing with your clouds. So you can decide if you want to have your clouds. Now this is Seabrook on Seabrook. And this is basically just the same. So I have a different brush for each of my different colors. And if a color is similar, like I'll use honey butter and lemon and such on with my yellow brush, but blues and greens I'll keep separate just so I don't have to clean them as often. But same as this one, you can just go lightly over the top. And if it skews, you just set it back down where it belongs and finish it off. So stencils are really easy, a fast and easy way to make a textured background. And again, you can see the lighter sides and the darker sides. I'm doing it super fast. The tricky part comes when you've got a larger piece of paper. So for the layout number 2 in this one, you're stenciling on a large piece of paper that's significantly bigger than your stencil. And so there are some things to be aware of. Number 1, how do you want to lay it out? Do you want to have yours? I mean, this would be the easiest if you laid it out so that all of the images were in a square, but I didn't really want all my stuff looking like it was in a square. So I put mine off center and then proceeded to go. But you got to be careful especially if you're getting it off center, because it's going to be in the middle of projects, to be careful on the edges. So it's kind of okay if you have a varied existence for your stencils, because you want it to be varied. But when you get close to the edge, I did multiple times where I went off the edge, and that is a definite risk. And you can compensate by that by being very careful. You could put something else next to it, like you could put another paper. That's a much easier way that way you can just go right off. But that also enables me to have very, very dark ink. I have I love darker. So I have a tendency to go too dark, and having this bolster my papers, actually creates something bad, because I am able to create a darker color since I have a mask there. And then you can also see that I didn't really want it. I shouldn't have really done it like this and like this, because I don't want it to look, perfectly symmetrical. I want it to look like falling leaves and that. So you can do the stencils any way that makes you the most happy. And see, you'll get these. But you could also just, go like this and pretend like you meant it. I'm just making it work. Well, I didn't actually make it worse. I just made it different. But anyway, so this is stenciling in hopefully what ended up to be just a moment's. So thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting. It's so easy to make your own background and texture paper.